Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Overtime. I'm your host, Nick Messer. Joined in studio here by conference champs, Coach Steve Stern. Also conference champs, Coach Kylie Rickey. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Coach, we'll start with you because I know we have some changes coming up. So let's go ahead and talk about those. Those are kind of fresh today. Change this weekend, no game with Edinburgh. I'll let you.
Yeah, officially it was canceled last night. We were notified by them. We knew it was a risk. You hoped it wouldn't happen. But if it was going to happen, I wish it would have happened sooner than this. You know, a lot of people said, are you going to pick somebody up? There are two schools out there that are realistically an option, but doing it on a late Tuesday night and assuming they would agree, would need to come to our place just to balance out home and away. We need the gates, but we're not going to get that. I just felt like it was too short a turnaround. How we get guys ready and the information that we provide to them, I don't think that we could have done it that quick. So it's going to be an off week. Now, there's a discomfort, uncomfort may not be a word, discomfort in change of routine, certainly. But I told the guys tonight, it's not getting mad about it, it's not going to change it. It is what it is, and you truly have to go forward. So we practice normal tonight. We'll practice normal tomorrow. I will give them off Friday, and then Saturday morning we're right back to our normal routine.
Do you think that bye is going to be beneficial?
You're going to make it that. I mean, it's whatever you make
right,
it. You know,
right.
life is what they say, not about what happens to you, it's how you react to it. So this is unfortunate. I think about a senior. I think about guys who are nearing school records. I think about a senior class who's nearing, who's going to have an opportunity to be the winningest class in school history in the 57 years. And you take a game away from them, and you feel bad for that. But football is so traditional and rigid. You know, we do this on Monday and we do this on Tuesday,
right.
And we play on Fridays. So here it is, a Friday, early October, and we're not playing. It's uncomfortable, but you've got to make the best of it. It's not going to slow our getting healthier down, and not that we're real beat up, but I think every team this time of year, you got your fair share of bumps and bruises. So that's certainly a positive, and I think it gives us a little bit of time as a staff to look forward, look a little closer at some potential sectional opponents that we wouldn't have been able to do. So that's positive. Start earlier on Franklin County that we wouldn't have been able to do. But again, the disappointment I feel is more for those guys, you know, the senior class and the team. But we will go on and we'll make a positive out of it.
No, there wasn't anything special, right? That wasn't senior night or anything?
Well, actually, it was scheduled to be senior night, but we anticipated this problem. Like, they almost didn't start the year. They had said early, we've got to be at 20 players or we're not going to do this.
Yeah, and I heard they were 16, 17, I believe is what the count was.
And then they extended it, and then they actually got their numbers up to 28. I thought, well, we're okay. But when they were down there at the beginning saying, we don't know, Scott and I made the decision it would be smart to move it up because you didn't want to hold it and just hope. We got to have senior night. We celebrated all of our seniors. So that part of it's done. It's unfortunate from an athletic department standpoint that you lose a gate, you lose a home game, and all the things that go with that. But again, it's a situation that we're in.
Yeah, and they have a young athletic director over there too, and he's having. I mean, this is going to be a trial and tribulation type of year for him right now with some of the other things going on over at Edinburgh that I'm not going to get into.
No. But you're right, and I don't really care if you're a veteran or young. It might be his benefit being young. You know, he doesn't know any different. But you get a veteran in there with some of the stuff that they've had to go through and navigate. It takes a lot of the fun away from that job.
All right, so no game this weekend. I'll probably repeat that 100 times. So the game has been canceled.
Yes.
But selection Sundays this week.
Sectional draw is Sunday night. So we will find out, and I prep these guys every day this time of year. The most common thing that you're going to be asked, people are going to text you once the draw comes out, is that a good draw, bad draw? Are you happy? And there's no such thing. Hopefully they'll echo that tonight, that the draw simply tells you who, when, and where, and you can sort of predict your path. in terms of, where we're going to play, who it is we're likely to play, no more, no less. The hardest game of every tournament to win is the first one, because you know that opponent longer than you know anybody else, and you've got more time to think about it, and sometimes you get in your own way. And that's always a thing this year. But we don't get together. I know, basketball traditionally does that. Some football schools do too. We don't. It's Sunday. We all have internet at our house, and we'll all find out at the same time.
All right, switch gears real quick with our other conference champ in the studio here, Coach Kylie Rickey. Welcome to Overtime. This is your first show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's
welcome.
Exciting to be here.
So let's go ahead and start with your highlights, since we're already talking about, the football sectional draw. Your sectional has already been drawn.
Yep. So we drew. So our sectional draw was on Sunday, this past Sunday, and we drew Waldron, which we had just beat Waldron the week prior, and that game had gone to 4, so 4 out of 5 sets, but we beat them in 4. So we're pretty excited for it going into this next week. We play them on Thursday night. We'll play the 6 o'clock game on Thursday. It'll be October 16th.
Okay, so October 16th,
Yep.
6 o'clock at
Morristown.
At Morristown.
Correct.
Okay. Not North Decatur, not Waldron. That's at Morristown.
Correct.
Okay. That's not a bad gym, though.
No.
I like that gym.
Nope, and we just played there a couple weeks ago, too, and so the girls are comfortable there, right? Yeah, I think so. Yes, the girls are comfortable there. So we'll be good to go, and we're definitely looking forward to it. It should be a good start to our sectional tournament.
Yeah, conference record 6-0.
6-0, yep, clean sweep, yes.
So both coaches, both conference champs, both undefeated.
Yep.
It's a small victory. I mean, there's a bigger pot at the end of the rainbow, but small victories. Take us through the year. I know when I did the preview show way back when, you had sent some highlights of things that you were looking forward to and things you're proud of and key people and everything. The year's been up and down, or it started out up and down. So just take us through how your year's been and how you guys have grown.
Yeah, thanks. Yes, it has been up and down, but I mean, like you've mentioned, a big highlight of our year so far has been our conference championship. So proud of the team for that and the work that they put into to win that. And so our record outside of, or total record, I should say, is 13-16. So with that, we've obviously had some up and downs, played some really good tournaments, which is exactly what we want. We want to go into some bigger tournaments where we're playing bigger schools and really putting the girls to the test and seeing how they can show up against some different teams that we might not see here locally. So that's been good. Definitely ran into some challenges along the way. And with us being, a pretty young team with no seniors on our team, it's been a big growth year. Like our initial team that we started with on day one is definitely not the same as we are now a couple of months into this. So we've had a lot of growth and we've had a lot more consistency in the past couple of games, which I'm excited about.
I think you've had a great bounce back year, and I hate to say that, but you know how it is when you graduate senior classes. They won't repeat, they won't do it again. But when you have a well-established program and you have a solid culture, this is what you get.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You get teams that start out, you got to gel. You got to learn how to gel together. But you get teams that figure it out. That's the successful teams, is they figure out how to come together and win.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to see that, everybody that at least I talked to or talked to me after last year is like, they're not going to have a chance. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. So that's kudos. That's a big victory in itself to win conference.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. And that was my biggest challenge to the girls of, don't let that talk of it's going to be a rebuilding year or this year's just going to be tough. Like, don't let it get to them. It's more of a year where, yes, there's going to be a lot of growth, but we do have a lot of talent. So it's not the year that we're just going to roll over and just let whatever happen. We're going to still control our game and play our best. And we have.
Let's highlight some key players throughout the year.
Okay.
Obviously, you brought some with you today, and we'll get to all the student athletes here probably a little bit this segment, maybe obviously next segment. But a couple key players, key highlights, moments throughout the year.
All right. Yeah. So, with me today, I brought Miley Scudder and Sarah Moeller. So those are our two team captains, and they're also our two outside hitters, and they also play middle back defense for me, and they're just a big presence on the court, and all around. Both of them are all around players, so they play all 6 rotations for me and just really lead our team well. The best thing to with these two that I can compliment them on is how they showed up in conference. So in conference, so Miley is leading the conference. She is number 1 in kills. So congratulations to her on that.
Okay, let's stop you right there.
Okay.
For non-volleyball people, okay, let's explain these terminology. What is a kill?
So a kill is when we get a point because our team has swung at the ball off of a set. So it's when we get a really nice clean swing and the other team cannot return the point. So that would be a kill. That's how we score good points. So Miley is leading conference, or she did lead the conference in kills, and then Sarah Mueller is also number 4 in kills in our conference, and so that's great. And then another key player for kills for attacking for us is Sophie Rolls, and she is number 2 in our conference. So that was a proud coach moment when we have 3 of the top 5 players in conference when it comes to kills are on our team. So super excited there. And then we had little Lainey Rennekamp join our team this year as a freshman, and she's really stepped into that role very nice. So she's our setter, and we just celebrated her today at practice as a setter coming in. She's reached 500 assists already this season.
Wow.
So yes, awesome achievement so far. So she also is leading conference. She's number 1 in our conference in assists. An assist is when we set up the ball to our attackers for them to get the kill. So it's a very important role on our or within the game of volleyball, and it's awesome to see a freshman step in and kind of take control of it.
Absolutely. How many seniors do you have?
0.
0 seniors.
Yes.
0 seniors.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Because that's early growth, right? That's something you probably don't, you'd say you like to, but you don't anticipate that early of growth in a program.
Correct. So yeah, that's why it has just been a really big growth year. I mean, the girls have had to step into, like Miley and Sarah here have had to step into leadership roles as juniors on the team, which they were well equipped to do, but they've also taken their role seriously and really tried to learn as they're leading their team.
All right, Coach, we'll switch gears over here with you again. No game this week again. I'm going to keep repeating that as I keep repeating. I'm going to repeat it. No game because somebody's going to show up and say they didn't know. But for those of you listening, which is hopefully a lot of people, no game this week. Edinburgh has had to cancel. I don't know. Is that a forfeit?
It's forfeit.
It is a forfeit.
Yeah, per conference rules, if you're unable, and it really doesn't matter why, if you're unable to fulfill your conference obligations, it counts as a forfeit.
All right, so let's go ahead, and now we can look forward. You know, that's one of my pet peeves, looking forward too much. Mm-hmm. But we don't have a game, or you don't have a game this week, so let's go ahead and talk Franklin County. Franklin County, from what I've seen up close, is they're a very unique team in terms of how they play. I think they're pretty consistent in terms of the phases they play in, if that makes sense. I don't think there's anything... they can spread out, they can run it tight, they can, defense, same thing. They switch up quite often. Takeaways and how are you prepping for Franklin County?
Really, the preparation just started today. Once last night became official. They're a physical team. Probably more physical than talented. Not saying they're not talented. Physicality will be an issue in this game. Them getting healthy. So some of the film that we've watched isn't really the true version of them. Quarterback's been out last couple weeks. The rumor is he may be back tomorrow at Batesville. If there's an advantage in not playing, we will have an opportunity to go see him in person tomorrow down the road. They're tough kids, and I grew up. My 2 brothers actually are Brookville graduates, so I started my professional Little League career in Brookville, Indiana. So I know a lot of those people. It'd be like old home week for me. So I'm aware of the toughness. I'm aware of the tradition. Football is important there, and I think a takeaway that I have after 24 hours of kind of breaking it down, they don't beat themselves. They play in a way that favors their strengths. So sometimes it makes them look maybe a little bit better than they are, but they do what they do, and their buy-in's high. It's a good team. They're 5-2 right now.
Yeah. Going
into tomorrow night, and I would say John Harrell has them favored for tomorrow night. So it is a intentionally scheduled game. going back to a year ago where we felt like the tail end of our season, we lost our edge a little bit, especially physically. So that's why Linton showed up week 6 and Franklin County week 9, is to make sure we have that moment and that stress before we go into the tournament.
So let's just clear that up. That was for preparation, not to see me again, right?
Well, I didn't know when we scheduled it we were going to be seeing you, but that's just a bonus. We can stop at Pizza Pete afterward or Dairy Cottage and get to see you all at the same time.
Yeah, Nixie's down there gets a lot of it's supposed to be the good place to go, but back to the game though. Physicality is what they do bring. And that's what they've been known for since 1989 when the school. I mean, they're just physical, tough. Do you do anything different to prepare for that?
No, I mean
you just stick to the game plan.
Well, you have to. You have to be smart. I think from a standpoint, there are some games you can get by with some mismatches that you have. If you have a physical advantage, this player, this scheme may work against them, but against somebody who's your equal or better, it's not going to work. So how do you line up as a football player, really as any athlete, how do you line up and be at a disadvantage physically, emotionally, whatever it is, and still have success? Because there's a way. But you can't crawl down in the ditch with them and play the way they play, because we've already said they're either more talented, they're more physical, they're older, whatever it is. That was the lesson learned at Linton. They were physical at every position, and they played a style where it was downhill at you. And we can't play like we're playing a lesser team. We had to find a way within the game to still be successful, even if we were in places of physical disadvantage.
In the stadium itself, again, it's going to be a different feel because it's separated. Traditionally, you walk in the same entrance and you walk past the home team or vice versa. Franklin County, of course, is separated. The visitors have their own concessions, their own side. Home stays over. Cheer block's really loud. They typically have a really loud cheer block, but it's still one of those environments to adjust to.
Yeah.
Which seems to be the theme every week. For some reason, it's the environment, and
that's part of it. I mean, you can put your head in the sand and go, "Oh, it doesn't matter where you play." It absolutely does.
Yeah.
There is a home field advantage, and there's a comfort when you've been somewhere before, and that is part of the discomfort with this is that we've never played there. Our varsity team has not played there, so everything's new. Everything's the first time. One of the things that we do when we travel is we always send the first wave early. Coaches and managers get there a little ahead of time, so if there's traffic, if there's a problem, if there's something weird we need to know, at least I'm going to know it before we arrive and we can have a plan. But that is the thing. I said earlier, football's important there. Back when it was Brookville High School and Joe Codiano was the head coach, it was really important, and that's continued. They changed colors, but same people.
Yeah, a little different, yeah. Weird story. Happening down there is this is things that you never stop learning in life, I guess. I found out that buzzards apparently like rubber.
Really?
And so we have a huge buzzard problem down there to where we're talking 60, 70, 80 buzzards. So I didn't know that could happen. So I guess those of you looking to get turf, there's a downside. If you have buzzards nearby, they like the rubber and it attracts them, yes. It's weird, I know. But, all right, over to Coach Ricky. You guys play tomorrow night. Let's talk about that game. You guys play?
We play Union County tomorrow night. And that's going to be a home game, so it starts at 6 p.m., which I'm thankful for. That's a haul over there to Union County, so they're going to have the haul to us tomorrow night. But, yep, it should be a good game to kind of round out our season prior to sectionals. So they have about, I think, just under a losing record, but it's nothing like we can't walk into the game expecting to just win outright. So we're going to show up and kind of play our game, do a little bit of scouting before, but it should be a good game.
In non-conference.
It's non-conference,
so,
right?
Yep, that's already wrapped up for somebody listening, thinking, oh well, if they lose, no, conference is done.
Correct. Yep. So it's just our last home game for the season to kind of kickstart us into next week.
What are you looking forward to, or how would you like, and this is loaded question, I guess. Tomorrow, last game heading into sectional. What are you looking for as a volleyball coach? Like, what's some positive takeaways that you want to see coming out of that game tomorrow night?
So one of my biggest focuses going into tomorrow night, and it's one of the things we worked on tonight and practiced quite a bit, is our serve receive. So for volleyball, the game or every point starts with a serve, and the next thing would be serve receive. And so those are your two most important skills right there. And I'll be honest, our serve receive has kind of struggled the last couple of games, so we're looking to turn that around. So I'm hoping tomorrow night kind of kicks that off, and we can really focus when we're back there passing the serves. And then set ourselves up for a better offensive structure once we do that. So that's what I'm looking for, as well as more of just our team really coming together. And volleyball, I tell the girls this all the time, volleyball is a game of momentum and it's a game of energy. For whatever reason, you cannot play the game of volleyball without having a really good momentum on our side and energy on our side. It matters. So I ask this of my captains often, but the whole team, of just bringing energy and making our own energy no matter who the opponent is. So that's what I also hope to see tomorrow.
So do you set a serve?
No, you do not set a serve. You serve a serve.
I see that all the time. I'm like, don't set it. Even I know that.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to pause for about a 3-minute break. We're going to switch out. We do have student athletes in here with us. We'll introduce them and have them talk a little bit, answer some questions. We are joined in studio by North Decatur's #1 golfer. Say hello.
Hello.
All right, we will be right back here to overtime.
Did I do it wrong?
You know you're
No,
being
you did
recorded,
great.
Grumpy. What are you so grumpy for?
She got told late. She didn't know.
Yeah, that stresses me
That was
out.
a personal invite from me.
Personal. Thank you.
I was thinking of you.
Am I done?
No.
No, you haven't started.
Hello.
You told me to tell me hello.
You're supposed to be like, my name's. I don't know.
Do I need to go down there?
I can't be put on the spot.
On that one there, you got to speak up.
All right, that's right up your alley.
All right, welcome back to Overtime. I'm your host, Nick Messer. Going to switch gears here, and we have student athletes live in the studio with us. Let's start with the North Decatur football team. So introduce yourselves, tell us what position and number you are so we can find you.
I'm Simon Barber. I'm safety and running back, and I'm number 1.
Matthew Fields, quarterback, number 7.
I'm Corbin Thackeray, number 29, running back and safety.
Eli Trenkamp, number 31, wide receiver and cornerback.
All right, we'll switch over here to our lone golfer here in the studio. The number 1 golfer this year, senior. I'll let you introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Hello, I'm Carmen Thackeray.
All right, North Decatur volleyball. Introduce yourselves.
I'm Sarah Moeller. I play outside and middle back, and I'm number 14.
I'm Miley Scudder. I also play outside and middle back, and I'm number 8.
All right, we'll start over here with Simon. Simon, just take us through this year. What's your take? How you feel? Like, what's probably been your best memory so far this year?
My best memory is probably when Alex Stern yelled at me on the headset, through the headset, when I gave Corbin a high five on a punt return touchdown. That was my favorite memory so far.
Okay. All right. Matthew Fields, what's your best memory so far this year?
My favorite memory was down Eastern Hancock, where we scored on like the 5th play of the drive. Didn't really see the play, but just kind of got up and
You didn't see it because you got laid out, or didn't see it
yeah,
because?
kind of.
Okay. Well, so. All right. Eli Trenkamp, what's your best memory so far?
I'd probably say opening up the season with the touchdown. That was pretty cool for me. But other than that, I mean, first touchdown ever for me, but it's still the only one. So we'll be looking to get more.
Hey, you know what? I had one in my whole football career. One.
That's what I'm at right now.
So just, it'll stick with you forever.
We're going to try and get a few more.
Corbin Thackeray, senior.
Yep.
Talk about your leadership role and how it's changed and how it continues to change each week. I mean, here you are with another unique situation, games canceled. I don't want to call it a bye week. It's going to be a weird week because you guys are so structured and routine. As a leader, what are you doing to keep everybody motivated during this week?
Well, I think it starts back in the winter, getting everybody to come in and lift every morning, and our absences weren't as high as they were last year, and a couple kids here and there, but we got through that. And I think getting everybody together on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, and coming into we call them quarterback meetings, and we watch film now. I mean, we understand that we're not going to play Edinburgh, so we moved on, and we're starting to watch Franklin County.
So as a leader, how are you keeping everybody motivated and not letting them get too much downtime and keeping them?
Well, just kind of tell them that we're trying to prove everybody wrong, and the other classmen that are following their footsteps, and just show them that we're better than them.
All right, Carmen Thackeray, what's your best memory this year on the golf squad?
Probably when me and Grace Nobby fell down a hill.
Swinging or just walking?
Walking.
How you picked up golf late, right?
Yeah, freshman year.
So freshman year, so you're fairly new. All conference this year?
Yeah.
Okay. How did your leadership role change from, obviously, freshman year, you're at another school, but how's your leadership role changed at North Decatur as you grew as a leader?
Probably from not caring so much to showing the underclassmen, like, yeah, golf may be just golf, but in the end it's like a great way to learn lessons, patience, and all of that, and just showing them that, yeah, it may not be fun as other sports, but it's a good learning lesson.
What's one golf shot that you took that you wish you could have back? If you could have one mulligan for just let's keep it this year. For this year, which one would it be?
My drive.
Any particular drive or just
all of them?
Just all of them. Okay. All right. Hey, she's honest. All right. Switching over here to North Decatur volleyball. Sarah, What's some of your best memories about this year so far?
I'd say my favorite memory from this year is our South Decatur game because it's always just a fun game to play. It's conference, it's a bucket game, so there's always a good fan student section. It's just a fun game to play.
That was a revenge game this year, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was.
Miley, what about you? What's been your best memory so far this year?
Well, people are going to call me unoriginal here, but I'm also going to say our South Decatur game. It was just a great crowd, and like you said, it was just a great defeat. As some people may not know or remember, we did lose the second round of sectionals to South Decatur last year in a close 5-set match. So just getting to take that victory back, getting that bucket back this year, it just felt great.
How has your leadership role changed? Because you came in as a freshman and got quite a bit of varsity time, right? So how do you use that? How's that changing your leadership style, or how does it help you grow as a leader?
Going into my freshman season, I definitely didn't see the court as much as I do now. I didn't have as big as a leadership role, but that's definitely changed. I had some great upperclassmen my freshman and sophomore year, and I really just tried to take after them, and all that I do, I would thank them every single day for what they taught me and all the things that they showed me, and I just tried to implement what they gave me and taught me into my play every single day for our underclassmen now.
And so now you're in those shoes. Now you have to fill those for the underclassmen coming up, right? Mm-hmm. All right, Sarah, how's your role changed? Because you kind of the same way, lots of playing time. So how has that shaped your leadership this year?
I would say when I started out on varsity as a freshman, not started, I guess, but played as varsity as a freshman, I was scared. I did not want to go out on the floor. But when I did, I would have to play, and they motivate me to keep playing. But now as I step out there, I'm confident, and I know what I can do and what I should do, and I feel confident teaching others what they did wrong. There's sometimes younger kids come and ask me what did I do, and I'll try and tell them the best of my ability.
Okay. Switch back over here. Simon Barber, take us through what do you do on game day? What's your game day ritual?
Well, so I go to Walmart and I get a half a sub sandwich at the deli.
Okay.
And a pack of Skittles. And that's it.
That's it. So
that's what I do.
Okay. All right. Hey, Marshawn, it worked for Marshawn Lynch. So, Matthew Fields, take us through. How do you get game day ready? What are you doing?
Usually I go to Subway, get a 6-inch sub, and then go over to we have a place where we all meet and just kind of take a nap.
A team nap?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Eli, take us through game day. What are you doing on game day to get ready?
I usually go to Wendy's, get me a Dave's single and fries, and then I'll go back to Charlie's aunt and uncle's and take a team nap after I finish my sandwich.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Corbin Thackeray,
Yeah, I go with
take
you.
us to your game day.
Well, I usually get off work around 3, so I'll just run over to Troyer's and get whatever's on the list that day.
On the daily special?
Oh, yeah.
So do you see, and I'm going to stick with you, Ben, the senior, do you see your game day routines changing
Oh, yeah.
over the years? Do you?
Yeah, freshman year, I think me and Kicker, Aiden Odell, we'd always go to Wendy's, and we get the 50 chicken nuggets and go back to Reed's and put them down. And then sophomore year, I always went to Subway at Walmart, and you probably got a chicken bacon ranch. And then we went to Palmer's Muck's. Went to Cade Muggerhides that year. And yeah, this year's I've always went to Troyer's, so after that it hasn't really.
Every year's a new slogan, a
Yeah.
new pregame meal.
Pretty much.
So what do you do preparation-wise, though, outside of the food? What do you do? Do anything different preparation-wise? Do you
No,
watch
I try to
game
stay
film,
I
last
try-
second game film? Do you go to YouTube? Or you?
No, I kind of just try to stay on my feet. I don't want to get tired and lazy. I hate feeling like that. It's hard to take a nap unless I'm on the bus, and you kind of have to. But if it's a home game, I'm up, trying to move.
Okay. All right, lone golfer. Actually, Carmen, you are the first student-athlete golfer to be on here, and probably the only.
Wow.
So thank you for joining us. What do you do pre-match ritual? What do you take us to a game day with you? What do you do?
Well, sometimes I'll go eat, sometimes I just go tan, and then I usually just go to the golf course. We have to be there by 4, and school ends at 3:30. And then I'll sit in my car for about 30 minutes. Everybody else warms up. And then I'll walk out there, just putt some balls.
So you're more of the taking in the mental side of it versus the I'm going to go swing a club and get ready side of it?
No. I just I don't know, golf's just golf to me.
Okay. All right. Let's go over here to volleyball. Sarah, take us through your game day ritual.
Most of the time for food, I always go to Subway, and then I get a drink from Starbucks, and then I'll just go back to school. We'll listen to music, and we'll play a good game of Queens before we start actual warm-ups.
Okay. Queens, you want to explain what that is?
Queens is there's 3 on, and there's a setter on each side, and the winner, you serve on one side, and if you win, you go on the other side, and then you just keep going.
Okay. Miley?
So we all have very similar pregame rituals. My car, we always split up cars and take underclassmen. My car always goes to Subway as well. If we're feeling a little frisky, we might go to like Starbucks or McDonald's or somewhere in town. But we come back and we specifically like to listen to Pitbull before games, and we just like to spend that time together for team bonding.
You taking my next question there, but okay. But you know what? The one thing that I've heard through all of this is team, right? You've all been together with team. You're doing things as a team and setting that culture, and it shows. It shows athletically. It shows with the conferences. It shows with the records. It shows with, bouncing back from haters that say, they're not going to be the same this year. Or they're not going to be this year. And you guys have definitely stayed consistent with the culture that's been set. So kudos for that. All right, we'll go over here with Simon Barber. Simon, what are you listening to on game day?
Nothing. I don't listen to
Nothing? Just silence?
Yep.
Okay.
Getting mentally locked in.
Okay. All right. Matthew Fields, what are you listening to?
I usually listen to some Drake and just try to fall asleep,
Okay.
Sleep for that.
Eli Trinkamp, what's on your
I like a little
It's on your-
Metallica personally. Something really gets me going.
okay.
Kind of get ready for the game.
Do you visualize you're running out as a Hokie at Virginia Tech to Metallica?
Definitely not a Hokie.
Okay. Corbin Thackeray, what are you listening to?
I'm more of an 80s, 90s country, and I like to think of it as like calm before the storm,
Isn't that a Garth Brooks song?
Sure.
So you
Yeah.
get sad before you play a game?
No, I don't get sad. Why would I get sad?
You just get
You ever
sad
listen to an
music?
80s and 90s country song that's sad.
Most of them.
Some of them.
Okay. All right, Carmen Thackeray, what are you listening to?
Adele.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sarah, what do you listen to on game day?
A little bit of everything.
You gotta give me an artist. I'm gonna hold you to it. Give me one.
Maybe some Zach Bryan,
Okay.
Morgan Wallen.
Okay. All right. Miley, what are you listening to?
I mentioned some Pitbull, Kendrick Lamar some days. Just kind of depends what I'm feeling, really.
Okay. Does anybody's music change with the game you're playing? Just curious.
No.
No? All stays the same?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to pause for another quick commercial here. We'll come back, start wrapping things up with our student athletes, and get our final takes. This is Overtime. Welcome back to Overtime. I'm your host, Nick Messer. We have North Decatur athletes here in studio, so let's head back over to Simon Barber, get a few more questions, and we'll start wrapping things up for this week's show. Simon, talk about tradition and what they mean to you.
Tradition is, to me, is something you do like every year, every week. Like tradition for us is go over to Charlie's house every Thursday and sit by the fire and eat jumbo sausages. They're like this long.
Okay. I'm glad we're on YouTube. They'll see it. All right. Matthew Fields, tradition, right? I've heard Coach and others say that so many times. What does tradition mean to you? What is your tradition like at North?
Just repeating stuff, how everything's very repetitious from all the early mornings. Never really anything changes. Practices are usually about the same, and then every week's usually same. Thursday practices, and then the meal, which is always very good.
Okay. Eli Trinkamp, same question for you. Traditions and...
Well, I'd say tradition to me, something been passed down to you from years before and players before you, like Reed and Carson and all those guys. They kind of taught us how to practice the right way with effort and energy, and then we kind of lost that the last 2 years, and then this year I kind of feel like we brought it back, showed the underclassmen below us how to practice well, so then they could pass it on to future generations.
Okay. Corbin Thackeray, lone senior, right? Oh, Eli's senior. I forgot. Sorry, Eli.
It's all right.
I was thinking you're a junior. My bad. Corbin Thackeray. I don't know your stats. I'm sure. I don't even know if you track it. I don't pay attention to all that too much. But talk about, as you go out, what mark do you want to leave? What do you want to, when people, you hear Eli talk about other North Decatur players that came before you guys, what do you want future players to say about Corbin Thackeray when he leaves North?
Well, I think it started, my look at it was starting my freshman year and following Reed Messer. Reed Messer left something behind that I don't think anybody in North Decatur will ever have again. The drive that he had every day, waking up, coming in, doing what he does every day. And I think it started with that. And they told us our freshman class would be we were very underrated at scout team when we would scout team against Reed and that senior class. And I think it's traveled all the way up with us. And I think we realized what 22 was about, and we want to carry on that legacy. And the other years before us, the 2 years in between, I don't think they really realized what 22 has really brought to North Decatur.
So what mark, how do you want to be remembered?
Well, last time I was in here, we talked about every time before a game we start a new chant, the I want to fight chant that Army does before a game, and I think we'll want to leave that behind.
Okay. Carmen? Let's talk about tradition and what you leave behind. How do you want to be remembered as the senior, the lone golf senior in the studio? How do you want to be remembered? When other golfers and other people come in here, what mark do you want to leave on North Decatur?
I just want to leave a mark where trying new things is sometimes good. It can be scary, but it's probably for the best to try something new.
So, play through adversity and...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sarah, got a little ways to go before you're done. What do you want to accomplish when you are a senior and you're in the seat these guys are in? What do you want to see? Like, where do you see Sarah being?
Well, next year, when I'm it's my last year there, I want to be able someone who's a strong hitter. Right now, I'm still working on it. I want to be a strong hitter, and one of my main goals that I've always wanted when I was younger is digs. My main goal is I want to reach my 1,000 digs, but I don't know if I will. But that's my main goal to get there, and I also want to leave someone behind that always wants to come in hardworking, just wants to put their foot down. I don't know.
Sure. You want to be remembered for setting that tone and being the example for others to follow. Absolutely. Miley Scudder, when you're a senior and you're back in here, where do you want to be? What are we going to be talking about, Miley?
Oh gosh, I really I want to encourage girls to stay committed to the sport. During our off season, we work very hard. We're always improving every day, and I try my best to show up every single day, and I really just want to encourage girls to stay committed, and that's when you'll see the most growth. So if I want to leave anything behind next year when I'm a senior, I want girls to find their love for the sport, and so much as so that they just work harder and harder at it every single day.
Good. All right, well, I'm going to get a final take from you guys, and then we'll switch the coaches back up here. So you can all say something, or one of you. So we'll do a final take with the student athletes from the North Decatur football team. So final take, anything you guys want to say?
Thank the teachers in our school. You got it.
I just want to thank our our principal and all the teachers that are involved in treating the football players and telling us to keep it up and keep us motivated to keep playing every week.
I would say shout out to the fans. Keep coming out and showing out for us. Keep rooting us on. Get the Cowbell Mafia going.
Well said, Eli Trinkamp, senior, North Decatur High School. All right, Carmen Thackeray, senior, lone golfer, season's over. Conference this year, final take.
I just want to thank Mr. Johnson, and Mr. H for filling in for Miss Childress with her baby. I want to thank Miss Childress for just trying to keep me in a good mood during golfing, and I want to thank all the girls, the juniors, and hopefully incoming sophomores and freshmen. That I just want to thank them for letting me have a good season.
Okay. Sarah and Miley, North Decatur volleyball, final take.
I want to thank our coaches, especially Coach Kylie, for stepping up and what she probably saw at the beginning of our season as young and probably pretty immature group of girls. I want to thank her for just really pushing us every day to be our best, and as well as the other coaching staff that have worked with us every single day as well.
Okay. Sarah?
I want to thank our parents, like the parents of the players, because they put in a lot to get us to practice every day and supply us with like the money to like go get food after, gas money. And I also want to thank my teammates for encouraging me along the way, my journey, and the fans for showing up each game and cheering us on. Okay.
All right. That is the North Decatur student athletes for this week. We're going to switch them out. Players, thanks for being here. We're going to bring back football coach Steve Stern, volleyball coach Kylie Rickey, give them a chance for the final take. And while we're switching out, I'm just going to every week we do little videos to kind of hype up the show. I'm going to encourage everybody to spread the love on those, share those across social media, so we can get people on here, because we've reached where we want to be with getting the student athletes on here. And we don't ask them very many questions, but we do ask questions and get their takes and give them an opportunity. Some of them aren't going to have an opportunity to do this again, so that's what I really like about it. You don't know if anybody's going on to the next level or not. You don't know if they're going to come back and coach, or what their life plan is, or where their endeavors take them. So I'm always a big fan of getting student athletes on here. So make sure you tune in and listen, spread the word about overtime, because that's what we're trying to bring back, is the love for student athletes in Decatur County. So with that said, I will go with ladies first. So I go with Coach Kylie Rickey of the North Decatur volleyball team. You get final take.
Final take. All right. So I think my biggest thing here is we're now focused on first off tomorrow, ending up our season against Union County there at home. But then really looking ahead now to next week, to sectionals, and hoping the fans show up at Morristown at 6 p.m. on October 16th. And like I said, that'll be our first game in sectionals against Waldron. It should be an awesome match. And then from there, hopefully we take a win away on Thursday night, and then sectionals will be 1 p.m. would be our next game on Saturday, and then the championship game is 6 p.m. and it's all at Morristown. So we're really looking forward to it. It ought to be an exciting end of the season here, or next couple weeks, I should say, for our volleyball team.
Okay. Coach, I'm looking at my notes here, and one thing that I did not talk about, we discussed, is sectional draw versus seeding of sectional. Yeah. I know I've said on here, and I've said other places, that I think they should be seeded versus a draw. There's several reasons. You don't want your two right. dominant teams to be forcing one or the other out, and you want to give the home teams the ability to get a take at the gate. So,
well, I'll give you a little background. So, rules, the Indiana Football Coaches Association submit proposals to the IHSAA. If you want a rule changed, it's got to be backed by the Coaches Association. So, twice within my career, they have there's been a groundswell. Hey, let's look at seating. We need to have seating. So you send a poll out to all the head coaches to vote. Are you in favor of or not in favor of? And depending upon the results of those polls, they either push it forward to the IHSAA or they don't. If it's 75% or higher with any rule change, the IHSAA is certainly going to take a look at it and may well accept it. Problem with this is half the people want it and half the people don't. If you're one of the better teams, you absolutely want seating, because in any sectional, that first game, you go back to 22, it's us and Tri in game one, and that was probably the equivalent of a semi-state or a state finals game. I mean, that was a heck of a game to start the tournament, and fortunate that we won it, but you saw a really good team on their side go home. So those two teams at that point would have said, yeah, we need to be seeded. But the teams on the other end of the spectrum, they don't want seeding. That would be like their death sentence. The thing Indiana has is everybody makes tournament, which is not true in every state. So every team, you have a tough year, whatever it was, it's a new beginning. You're 0-0. And due to the blind draw, you might get a very favorable game. If you go to seeding, they will not get a favorable game. So when the poll comes back, it's 50-50. It's obvious why certain people would want it, but it's also obvious why others won't want it. So I think seeding is dead for my lifetime. I don't think it'll come up for a vote again. I understand the logic of both sides, and I think because it's so split, it'll never happen.
Yeah, and of course I'm in favor of we seed the teams and we go that way because
well, let's get in the argument then. If we're going to seed them, how are we going to do it? So then there's the argument, well, we'll use Sargan ratings. Well, not without his approval, and I bet there's a fee without approval. If you're going to use him as part of the formula, okay, do you do it on record? Well, wait a minute. Not everybody's records are the same. So then you're going to open a whole other can of worms of what's the criteria, not unlike college football. When they talk about the power rankings.
Right.
You play who you play. People will always say, "Oh, so and so they don't play anybody." They played everybody on their schedule. It's not like at the end of July we go, "Hey, we're going to be pretty good. Let's go up our schedule." These schedules are made years in advance.
Yeah.
So you play who's on your schedule.
Yeah, and we know. I mean, we could talk all day. I need to get to your final take. We can talk all day about IHSA and how it could be more beneficial, but I hope that IHSA starts seeing the value of competition a little more. And I'll stick to this. I'm a big fan, especially, and I get it if you already have turf and a beautiful facility, but most of your 1 and 2A teams are on grass. I still would like to see somehow some of these schools that aren't being used, and give the, instead of having home field advantage, make it a neutral site and give these schools a break from working it. And so, we're not going to see those. We might not, but we'll move on to your final take.
I got a lot of final takes. So I'll say, I said at the beginning of the year is that I thought this team had a lot of potential for growth. We were young in some places, we were experienced in others, and we had some unknowns in a lot of places. But every team is a new beginning. So because you had success a year before, that doesn't guarantee success this year. Because you had good culture last year, the year before, there's no guarantee it continues. So I think as a coach, you have to nurture those things and talk about those things to make sure that it does continue from year to year. And that's when you build your culture. I sit here now, technically 8 weeks into it. I still think this team has growth. I've seen them grow the last week and a half. We've done some things a little bit different in practice to stimulate them, to get them refocused. It's not that they were unfocused, but you hit that lull in your season, and you come out of Linton, and it didn't matter really who we played the next week. They were going to not look very good. When you watch that Linton film and then you watch whoever's next, there's a discrepancy, and then it's obvious. So in order to keep them dialed in, we had to change that a little bit. But I think I would say to the fans, there's still a big upside to this group. I think they've got great potential. What they have done in every challenge, and I think right now is a challenge, not having a game this week, they have stood up to it and they faced it and they've overcome it. It was a big uphill battle at Linton. So I say all those things, I guess, to say this, is that this team could do something historic, I think. We're healthy, knock on wood. We're healthy. We've got some momentum. The camaraderie is good. There's an awful lot of good in our huddle in our locker room that when you have that, it can lead to the field. If you don't have those things, I think that puts a limit on what you're going to do. If everything's based on talent alone, I think that has a limitation. So I'm excited. I hope people are excited. We'll find out Sunday at the draw when our next home game will be.
Okay. And that's it for this episode of Overtime. We'll be back next week, 6 o'clock. We had to do a little flip this week for some scheduling issues, but next Wednesday we'll be back with the Greensburg Show. We'll have student athletes live in studio then as well. I'm your host, Nick Messer, and this has been Overtime.